Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice and a whole bunch of other mods. Now, mentioning that, I got a question for you just a moment, but before we do that, check and make sure you're still subscribed. I got some more feedback and I'm hearing, I don't know what it is, but people get unsubscribed all the time from various channels, even though they still may feed you some of the videos occasionally. So just check and make sure you're subscribed. All right. I'm not sure what to do. I've got a question for you. I have a couple of questions. And my mind goes, what the fuck is going on in society? But that's another question. No. I've read about the organization loss, quote, for Germany, quote unquote, around the time of Barbarossa. Now, I'm not sure what this is. I asked over on the GGA forum for more details than what they post, because I was going to maybe try to fix it. Because I see Revolverheld hasn't been around for a long time. Not sure why. I hope things are well with him. But I do know he takes absences and he just may not have the time to deal with modding, so he doesn't want to look at the forum and be pressured into doing something. I know the feeling when you just really don't have the time to give to it. So, question one is whether on the GGA forum or here, if you've played this and had this bug with GGA, and it's presumed to be around the bombing. And I've sort of looked at some of the parameters, some of the event modifiers that are GGA, and I don't see the problem. Doesn't mean it's not there. I just may have not looked in the right spot. Is if someone can describe to me the event loss, the organization loss in more detail. Like, does it go to zero? Does it start at fully, full organization here of, this is 61 out of, 61? Does it go, is it like 50 out of 61, or is it 50 out of 50, or does it go down to just like drop down like 20 points so that it's 40 out of 61, or does it keep working its way down to zero? A description of what the hell's going on, and or carefully look at like what triggers it. Like, and you go, I don't know. Yeah, okay, but what was going on just before this, and do you have older saves? It's always good to clear out your saves from your main save folder. I got down to 3 right now when starting this, but so I say it's always good to clear that out, but put them somewhere else in another like old save folder or whatever you want to call it, that it won't see, so that you can go back. So if you can go back to some point, a save that you have prior to the organization loss, play it through to when you start noticing the organization loss, and report what events, decisions that you can detect. It is possible that something could happen in another country that a German player doesn't see. It's possible. Quite possible, actually. But hopefully it's better organized than that. So if someone can report details on that, I might be able to, whether for me or whether I put out a patch, I don't know, fix the thing. So that's one question, and that's a complicated answer. The other question for you all is, what should I do now going forward if I don't? Well, for either way, should I just continue with this series as is, and oops, we get an unplayable bug that just makes invading the Soviet Union or whatever, practically impossible, and just end the series there, peace out and start again? Or should I can do it off camera without, replaying it for you, though it might mean a week or so hiatus on this series. So far, we're doing about 4 a week. Just partially because of YouTube processing and other bugs that sometimes delay, because I'm making this just, midnight Sunday for possible release Monday, though I have actually something I sort of scheduled because I don't know if it's going to get done in time. But I want to do 5 episodes a week. I'm doing at least 4. So if I've got to replay it on my own, get to whatever point we're at when the decision is made, and so things will look very similar. I'm sure there'll be some minor differences, but could go on and play from there. Should I get without the air raid, if we're pretty sure it's the air raid effects? Now, I have looked at a bunch of those things, events, decisions, whatever, seem to be that if I can build up a certain amount of radar, either through events or I guess just, building radar stations once they are available, and placing enough aircraft or fighter aircraft or whatever in enough of the cities. I don't know whether that is possible, or practical. I mean, there's possible and then there's practical. I just don't know how heavy it is, and I sort of wanted to try that out as a counterbalance. The idea, there's hardly any bombing going on here, so I use all my Air Force, against somewhere else, whether it's Soviet Union or the Mediterranean. If I have to put half the Luftwaffe, in this part of the world, that changes things. And so that's what I was hoping it was possible to keep the bad things from, the bad effects from happening by meeting conditions that I don't specifically know what they are now, but I have looked and just saw that there's conditions. If I can meet the conditions, which is sort of like, tying at least maybe because you may also have to build a lot of radars and anti-aircraft, flak towers, and those may all have, modifications to the available ICs, or just simply spending ICs on building things, radar, whatever. If that's the case, that's, fighting with one hand tied behind your back, or maybe not that dramatic of a crippling or handicap. That's the term I was looking for, handicap. So if I can fix it, if I think we can identify it fairly quickly and fix it, then or if you guys come back and say, hey, I played it, just people aren't meeting the requirements, so it has a problem. That's another thing. But if I can fix it, I'm happy to go back and replay, because I want to have those events there. Or should I just go back and start again without the British, Allied, whatever, bombing thing? So I want those 2 questions. Obviously, if you haven't played or you don't know what the problem is, you can't answer the first sort of question or series of questions, but you can answer whether I should restart if you played it and it really sucks, to like 41 or whatever, and I should start over. Please let me know that, because I would much rather start over now and catch up to where we are at quickly, hopefully. One of the series, I forget which one, I did one time put about 30 days or about 30 episodes or something. I just made one after that because I was just having so much fun. And I didn't tell you guys that I wasn't, sort of making an episode or 2 and then playing, and then making an episode or 2 and then playing. And we're going to do air-launched torpedoes because I like air-launched torpedoes. So, yeah. But mostly I do like the interaction with you guys, so that it's sort of like make an episode or 2 at a sitting, whatever, and then post them up, kind of thing. And then, get some feedback as I'm playing along, or, as you're posting them. I'm making a few more, so it's sort of an interactive. Because it would sort of kind of suck, because, hey, I've made this 200 episode series. I'm just now going to release it all, and, hey, you ought to, attack on the north flank, or hey, don't forget about the whatevers, or yeah, as in not knowing what's going to be coming. Okay, we got a bunch of yes, yes, yes. The metal, yeah, yes. Divisions, yes. Four infantry divisions, first Dwella. And we'll take full divisions. They get put down in here, which fairly well done. The progress bar may readjust. I don't know what, and costs will readjust over time because we're not producing infantry, so the practicals may go down. Medium pop, we've lost the effects of high popularity. Okay. At least we're now somewhat positive. No, I want to find the US quickly, so let's just come down here. They don't have money, damn. Okay. Spanish Republic, they have a lot of money. Do they want to buy supplies or something more? Oh, why am I? Oh, this is Spanish Republic. I keep Spanish Republic and National of Spain. Yes, okay. Let's see if Australia will buy from me. I know I'm a naughty nation, but will Iran buy at least even one fuel? No. Czechoslovakia. Don't you want fuel? Okay, they might want fuel. Oh, very likely. Okay. They're down by 3. If we do this, hopefully they will. Well, let's see if we. No, that's impossible. Okay. There we go. South Africa. I'm probably too naughty for South Africa. Poland. Come on, Poland. Oh, very likely. Okay, they're down by 4. They have. There we go. Good. Hopefully that'll get us in there. Yes, build West Prussian air bases. I'm still considering just giving myself a bunch of money because of the damn events that choke it out. USA, we would give them money for rare materials. No, we are trying to get back to like about 2,000 to 3,000 in money. Hey, just saying in money. I want to say dollars, pounds, Reichsmarks. No. Okay, we're just flipping in a few more LECs, it looks like. Good. There. No. Got a lot of consumer goods to still burn through, and we are no longer receiving that money. No, we want money. We don't want to. I don't want to give you guys money. I'm willing to go down to 30,000. Capital ship damage control, very nice. Is it grayed out or something? Or yes. There. Okay. Oh, we went down to medium popularity. That's right. Okay, no, not everyone's watched all this stuff before, but still, we won't go in too deep. Carpathian Deutsche Partei, KDP, is a semi-independent sub-party of the SDP in the Slovakian part of Czechoslovakia. It is led by Volksgruppenführer Franz Pazmazen. I've seen his name spelled in different ways. A member of parliament in Czechoslovakia. Should we support this party? So this is, like, says it's a small fractional party, though it has reasonably good support for the German-speaking people in the Slovakia region. They're very well, my understanding of the situation is there are very well maybe a few towns, villages, or whatever, I just don't know, that are predominantly German-speaking. But unlike the Sudetendeutsch, which is sort of, Germans living along the Czechoslovakian border, they're like in a 70 to 80% majority, speaking. There are Czechs living in amongst them, but they are mostly overwhelmingly German-speaking people that see themselves as German. These people are definitely people that are German-speaking and see themselves as German, but they are just mostly, he does get a member of parliament, and I don't know whether it is because it is a proportional representation. Hey, you just get, there's 100 members. If you get 1% of the vote or something, you get a seat, or whether he actually gets the majority somewhere. I presume he does get a majority somewhere, because I don't know that it is proportional. But there really isn't any areas that are significant, especially on the scale of this map, that are overwhelmingly German population. So it's mostly a minority party that supports a minority ethnic group. But yeah, we'll support it for 30 money. Okay. Hauptamt Ordnungspolizei. After centralizing the German police by mid-36, the SS and police leaders streamlined regional organizations. Heinrich and Delig. I don't ever really know how to pronounce that name right. I know some of you people have said, I'll help you out, but it's sort of hard with typing. And then I got conflicting, from Germans, these typed out how to pronounce things. I don't know. Called the Inspectorate of the Order of Police. Yes, we'll form that. Okay, so we just got this. Okay, I want to select all. I don't know that, but I'm just deciding not, at least at this time. And I don't know. Well, I would be shocked if he actually set it up so that Kesselring would be in command of it. But we can put Delig in command of it. I think that's... Is that mine? Maybe. I'm not absolutely sure. There we go. He'll be in command of it. He basically sort of was. Of the police. The Ordnungspolizei. Okay, no. We just spent 30 money. 4 or 5 months. Or no, 4 or 5 days. Not months. 4 or 5 days worth of income just to help out our friends in Czechoslovakia. Yeah, we're just slowly letting this drain off for now while we build this up. So yeah, what good are these? Well, these have a police battalion attached to them, and they have a police at HQ. And we can see suppression 2.67. Is it here? Suppression 10. So the police battalions are much more suppressive. Superior strength advance. Very nice. That is over here. We'll let that go. Superior strength, as far as I understand it here, allows you to do this, increase these if you want to increase these units. I normally don't, so I really, don't have a lot of good information for you. But there are, like here, particularly firepower, which adds an extra brigade to a division, is required. So that's why I'm doing that. It is to get that going. And so if you decided to not have let them eat cake as a option here, and you're just trying to oppress the German people, these guys are really good, and I've been waiting for this. Yay! These are good to help with that. And they can be left where they are as sort of eye candy, or as I do know, a fair number of these units are deployed to places like Poland and the rear areas of, in the Soviet Union invasion. And I presume they're called the Green Police by some of the Dutch, particularly in Anne Frank's diary. So I presume it's the Ordnungspolizei that are operating here, doing occupational duties and bad things in the Netherlands, and so I presume other places. Though there will be other HQs that come in for some of that as well, so they can be used as, reducing revolt risk. Okay, so you can keep Minister Schack understands the markets better if you want to keep him, or put Goering in charge of the economy, which has some negative effects. But what we really see here is gain, and those are, don't worry about the lose, because that just, I don't know why it does that, but it does that. So we will gain steel refineries, industrial capacities, rare earths extraction, which of course will help with that, will help with that. I mean, it helps everywhere. Energy, the coal. So, and there will be many more follow-on events based upon this, and we'll have a 10% IC bonus and 10% efficiency and resource plus 20%. Okay, Schacht must go. You can read all that if you wish. And so now we can look over here and we see Hermann Goering, and this is what I talked about. He has negative 5% money, which we're not looking forward to. A land organization, just because he's emphasizing air organization. That's why we have a de-emphasis there, and plus 10 to air organization, plus 5 resources. That is, and we also have plus 5 over here. That is for Reichswerk Hermann Goering, so it's like he's super in charge now. And light aircraft practicals are not decaying. So you want to leave him there. And we call him Reichswerk Hermann Goering for here, as opposed to Oberbefehl der Luftwaffe over there. So yeah, you want to leave him in place until the end of the 4-year project. And then you want to immediately replace him by, if you do it naturally, with Todt. Fritz Todt. He should be available by that time. Okay, that's looking fairly good. We're getting a lot more ICs, and now we're into producing submarines and other things. So that is sort of the problem. Okay, Hamburg, or Hanover, not Hamburg. Hanover, that'd be easier, quicker to find. It's here. Let's throw on another one of these. We're already getting 17, that'll help. Yeah, that'll get better as things come online, I think. Um, uh, sort of populating this river valley here, while our system away from some of the bombing in the west, with some additional factories. Do we get that? Yeah. Oh, in the right spot? No. Oh well, we'll leave that there. Why was I started out over here? Just slid around too much. Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter, because the main thing I wanted to do was increase the number of concurrent, not consecutive, concurrent factories. Now, yes, if we spam out too many factories, is that, yeah, goodly amount there. We spam out too many factories, of course, it's going to take too much more resources. But yeah, we want more factories, so yes, so we're going to do that. I think that looks good. And okay, air liaison. That sounds like a good plan. And ooh, we got all the way to 50 now. Okay. Espionage. Yeah, we're doing okay with free spies. Diplomacy, we're doing okay with that. Probably could even go down. We're doing okay with building up our officers, which is we need to build for the future more than we need to worry about it now. Coastal submarine classes. I guess we'll do this. I just somewhat reluctant because it's historically a bad idea to try to do significant AA defenses for submarines. Just simply dive and get the hell out. Don't try to fight. Okay, and a teeny little bit more. Let's do something other than naval. See if we have an air system that we can do in 37. Yes, of course we do here. Medium fuel tank research. I'm not happy about the oil, but we'll let this settle out a little bit more. Stormtrooper tactics advance. I think we'll just let that continue. I don't know. It's probably down here. No, I don't know. Probably somewhere you probably go on gamer. It's on that screen. You clicked on it twice. Up here, yes, okay. But we can now do infiltration, so we'll do that when we get another free slot, I guess, because it's backdated there a bit. Come on. Oh, Bulgaria, we need to raise more money. Okay, no, we definitely no. Okay, would you like some supplies, sir? You would not have to produce so many yourself if you bought some supplies from me. You could build up your own army. Poland, you have a little bit of money. You should want some supplies. Because there may be a nasty guy going to come and knock on your door soon. Really hard. And having more supplies that you bought means you don't have to produce them yourself. USA. Ooh, they have lots of money. I guess that didn't re-update. Okay, offer trade, sell. Very likely. Okay, well, they currently have a surplus of 29 and have a need of supplies of super lot. So let's max this out here. That would be very nice if that would go through and stay. Meaning I keep trading and keep doing it at that rate. Diplomatic report. Our diplomatic service reports that on the 23rd of October 1936, the Czechoslovakian government began to create border guard defense units called Staatsoberste Statut, SOS, composed of members of the gendarmerie, the police, and the military, financial officers, and civilian volunteers. I think financial officers, I think it means they're like bank guards, not bank tellers, that kind of thing, but whose mission was to guard the borders and keep the border areas peaceful and in order. SOS units within the Ministry of the Interior work closely with units of the Army. So this, and you can see here, they there are like elements of the military as part of it. These are some SOS personnel. There was an ongoing SS mission to arm up Freikorps, as they call it, Freikorps volunteers. I don't have a lot of details on it. I do know that there is one or more camps inside Germany, whether, at around this time period to a little bit later, a year or so later, there's one or more SS camps that are, there's also similarly, there's SS camps at this time period for Austrian SS members in Germany, and there's one or more SS camp for SS that are Czechs, Sudeten Deutsch, and that. And so I don't know. Okay, some of the people they are training up are members of the SDP that come across the border. I think sneak across. I don't think it's like they're dodging. Like you're getting out of a POW camp or something like that, where dodging in between searchlights. I just think they're crossing the border at locations that they know that there's no real security and there's no real border checks, and they're coming over and getting military training. These are more the Freikorps. The SS, they're training up that can't wear their uniforms in Czechoslovakia, but they're also getting military training for actions going on. And it's a significant thing. And so they're trying to provoke the Czechs into doing things that then the Germans can scream about in the newspapers and on the radio, how bad the Czechs are being to the Germans. And I'm going to go there. It's sort of like modern day Antifa and BLM, because I don't quite honestly nowadays know the difference other than that which signs they carry one particular day or the other. Going out, and I just saw some horrific video of them beating this guy. Oh man, it was terrible. He knocked him out, kicked him in the head on the ground, had a big bloody area in the back of his head. This is like within the last 24 hours of making this. I think within the last hour or 3 of making this, and dragged him out of his car. I don't know what, I think got trapped in the thing and I think panicked. I don't think there's any evidence that he was there to attack the rioters. He just got caught up in it and tried to get out, and car crashed and they dragged him out. I mean, he's entirely unconscious in the video. And a big bloody gash in the back of his head. I mean, concussions. I don't even know if he's still alive. So yeah, What Antifa is trying to do is provoke the police to do something, and then they go, look, police brutality. That's what, and get the thing, get the video of police brutality. See how terrible Trump's secret police are. Well, that's what the various German groups were doing with the Sudetendeutsch, were the Czechs. They were trying to provoke, because the Czechs, to the best of my understanding, were somewhat discriminatory against the Germans. Not that they hated the Germans, it's just, hey, we're preferring Czechs kind of thing. I think, I'm not an expert on all this stuff, and there's lots of propaganda wrapped up around all of this, absolutely, and I'm trying to navigate my way through it and tell you what's going on. So I don't know of huge overt oppression of everyday standard German-speaking peoples in Czechoslovakia. There is definite suppression of irredentists. Irredentist is a type of person who's in one country and wants to join a different country, kind of thing. And that's sort of irredentism. Irredentists that are trying to, that aren't loyal to Czechoslovakia and are trying to get their territories taken over by Germany. The extremists. And so the Nazis are trying to, of one type or another, are trying to provoke the Czechs into taking harsh actions that would then justify, at some point, German intervention to protect the Sudetendeutsch. That is very much at their strategy. Again, a strategy that is being carried out today. And when I'm making comparisons to Antifa or Black Lives Matter organization, of course, all lives matter, including Black lives, that part I am not against. And when there are clear cases of police clear cases of police malfeasance, I guess would be a good term, then yeah, the police officer should be charged. I'm not arguing. No one's arguing. No one on the right that I know is arguing against that point. But when I'm comparing them to the SA, I'm not necessarily comparing all the people, their ideologies. I'm comparing their tactics. Their tactics. And of course, if you don't already know this, and I know I've mentioned this before, Antifa is Antifisch Actione, or whatever. It starts in either the 1920s or the 1920s in Germany, and they use almost the exact same symbol, and it's the Communist Party's version of the SA, the sort of street battle type people. So yeah, they've been around for a long time. Okay, this is an important event here, and I've sort of been waiting for this as well to mention that. If you want to do a world conquest playthrough, and particularly if you want to invade Italy, or if you just don't want Italy as an Axis partner, or whatever thing, because again, even if you're not doing world conquest, you want to invade it, or you just think, for whatever strategic reasons, I would like to have them neutral and not have them in my faction, so whatever. I don't know what that's going to do to some of the event mods like GGA. What won't do anything bad for TRE, but whether like the scripted invasions, if Italy goes to war with the Western Allies or something, I don't know. And they're not in part of the Axis, I don't know. But so I don't know of a problem with not having Germany or not having Italy in Germany's faction. There could be, I just don't know of one. But this is where you want to, this is your path. If you want to go down and have them in the Axis, you say yes. If you want to take a different path, you go there. So I'm trying to let you know what you want to do. And so we're going to have Mussolini's forces in our action. Let's save this, just see if this will work well. Boom, good. Let's close this and continue. We've now got high popularity back, which means we can now research more things. Yay. And infiltration tactics. And that used up all of our extra. And, okay. That's good. We're plowing down that. As you can tell, I really like to just basically build ICs the first year. We were doing a little bit of oil rigs, and we had done a bunch of steel, but notice now we had been around 50 or 60 plus every day. Now we're at 128 with just the first event for the 4-year plan. And also, what by doing that is you removed the initial nerfing that I do in TRE2 Germany. There are some nerfings that I do at the start of the game to sort of more represent the idea that it really isn't a war economy. It really isn't everything for building up, whether it's units or building up industrial ICs that are, focused on war development. It's setting up, it's much more just, sure, they're doing, autobahns and other, things, but it's more civilian and stuff. And so that changes significantly in the full division with the start of the 4-year plan, because the 4-year plan is really the sort of, we're going to get Germany industrially ready to go to war plan. It could be named that if they were being honest about what's going on. So so you now have more control over the economy as if you're Canaris to Spain. Send Admiral Wilhelm Canaris, head of the Abwehr, to Spain to organize Spanish spy network there. Due to his excellent Spanish, this will help the nationalists stop the communists and improve our intelligence network there. Okay, so cost us a little bit of money. Fortunately, we've been building up money and supplies. So yes, we're going to do that. Improved relations with the Spanish state, which they're doing okay. They've got Madrid. That's nice. They're holding out down there, I guess. You can supply that through the port, I presume. Okay, I think we're going to end this episode here, and if you haven't already, please comment on what we should do about going forward and the organization bug. We're not somewhere, I guess, around 1941, 42, I don't know. Love to hear your comments. See you next time for more Hearts of